Almost there, man. Almost there.
All right. I actually made sure I had my phone. That's why I wanted a webcam so I can log into the live too, so I can see other comments when someone goes live. Someone asks a question in the live feed.
Yeah. Hey, we're yeah. Hey, well, we're live right now.
Awesome. Yes, I see it. And it's officially 12:01, so it's time to get started, boss.
Yeah.
Someone asked a question in live feed. And it's officially 12:01, so it's time to get started, boss. Mute that. All right, party people. My name is Larry Lee. I like to call myself Larry the Mortgage Guy. It's my way of branding myself. Welcome to the live webinar. We will be recording this. I'm not sure if Jason already did it, but I'm going to go ahead and press record too, just in case. I'm not sure if that affects anything. But I'm going to go ahead and record right now. Okay. Again, welcome to the webinar. This is lead generation that really works. Of course, we are very happy to have you guys here attending and watching. We hope to bring you value and help build your business. Of course, if you are a subscriber to Jason Morris and his live group, or his group itself, you know that Jason's constantly trying to bring value and get everyone to increase their business as well as their productivity and make us all more experts in our field. I appreciate that, which is the reason why I'm a fan of his and his group. And I felt that, in order to bring value, I wanted to give something that both of us can share. So I believe lead generation is something that, as a mortgage lender and as you guys being realtors and real estate professionals, you guys would like to hear about, of course, develop, and of course, master, right? So the purpose of this webinar is going to give you I would say the floor plan, okay? Now, when it comes to lead generation, there's so many different things you can do. There's so many different technologies. There's different versions, different methods. There's so many different people out there teaching it. My goal is not to show you the perfect ad or funnel or lead generation setup. My job is to show you how easy it is for you to create something like that so that at least you have the foundation, and if you feel it's something of value, you can develop it, you can tweak it, you can, of course, consult with other people who are doing it and therefore master the lead generation funnel, okay? Now, the reason I use the word funnel is because it's a buzzword. A lot of people hear that word. Literally, the way I look at it is just an ad that brings potential prospects in an area that you can manage. And therefore, once you have the information, you can go ahead and convert them or communicate with them and whatnot.
So what type of stuff would typically go into a funnel, Larry?
Well, there's many different technologies that you can pick up, like things that use as for subscription purposes, where you can put in the drip program. There's information that would actually capture the name or the phone number or email, and therefore put it into a system where you can retarget them later or communicate with them later. There's also the actual landing page, right, where when someone clicks your link, it leads them to sort of a website and it asks for the information. We call an opt-in form or a lead trap, right? There's so many different technologies, but I'm going to show you how to make one using just Facebook. Therefore, you don't have to sign up for any more technology. You don't have to pay for anything. It's very simple, very basic. Like I said, I'm going to give you the floor plan, but you're going to have to come up with the wood flooring and the crown molding and the landscaping yourself. Okay.
Hey, so now you're going to show us with just Facebook. So we don't have to buy lead pages, or we don't have to buy a fancy website or nothing like that, just Facebook.
Absolutely. Of course, if you want to maximize your success and utilization of your leads, then yes, you can pay for these new technologies like Zapier or Lead Pages or Lead Pops, ClickFunnels, Aweber, MailChimp, Woofu. There's lots of different technology that helps you with that. But I'm going to show you how you can create an ad that's going to give you information about your prospect with no extra bells and whistles.
Yeah, for today, they don't really have to spend any money. So there's no reason why somebody listening to this right now shouldn't be able to take what you're about to show us and actually put it into action like this afternoon.
Absolutely.
That's
They
right.
can, if they
Without
were to,
spending money. Well,
yeah,
maybe spending on some Facebook ads, but without spending, additional money signing up for anything or anything like that.
absolutely. That's the purpose of this webinar, is to give you that kind of tool. And you're right, Jason. I mean, this is designed to make it so that the only money that you'll be spending or only investment will be the actual advertisement you're asking Facebook to promote your ad or your funnel or whatever it is you create. Okay. So I just want to give you a quick background as to why I believe I can help you. I worked in the call center where we got a bunch of leads, but these leads were bought from Lending Tree and whatnot, so they're not exclusive. So we had to compete with these.
Now say that again. I don't think agents understand this. Those leads were not exclusive. Agents seem to think that they can get exclusive leads somehow, but tell them, Larry, are there any leads that are truly exclusive?
I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. What I mean by that is, let's say you're buying leads from Zillow, for example. Zillow will tell you you're exclusive to the zip code and whatnot. But I've been told, and I've heard, people who subscribe to Zillow saying that their leads are not exclusive to them. Meaning someone else is also working those leads. And that's a problem because, now you're competing, you're paying for the lead and now you're competing to get that person's attention, which that's not how it's supposed to be, especially if you're paying for that lead, right? So I worked in a call center where that was the norm. We bought leads from, like I said, Lending Tree and other lead generation sources, and we were competing against other lenders and realtors to get these people's attention. So it was very cutthroat, but I was able to manage the leads and convert them, and it was quick enough with my communication and my service to win some of these people's business, but not always.
I like what you just said there too. You were quick enough.
Yes, you have to be quick.
I think a lot of agents don't understand that. They think, hey, a lead came through their website today or a lead came through Zillow. They could just give them a call when they feel like it.
Absolutely.
What happens there with those leads when that happens, man? What would happen if you just gave your leads a call when you felt like it, when somebody sent you a mortgage lead?
This is the thing, when people are signing up online and they're trying to find information about purchasing a home or financing, whatever, if you don't get to them within like the first minute or 2 minutes, they're already on to the next thing. They're already clicking another website. They're already opting in someplace else. Or maybe they're at a website where there's one of those automatic chat room things that say, hey, can I help you with any questions? And it's like a robot, but then the person's communicating to them, like they're typing to them, and all of a sudden they're engaged to that website. And the lead that they submitted to you is still sitting in your inbox untouched. So yeah, time kills deals is what they say. So when it comes to lead generation, especially with online leads, you need to get to them as soon as possible, for sure.
Yeah, I keep telling agents, you need to try to contact them. Like the best situation is to call them and they're still on your website looking.
Yep, absolutely.
Because like all of us, man, if you call me tomorrow about a form I filled out today, I probably don't remember you.
Yep. Yep.
There's a good chance I don't remember you. If you call me a week from today about something I filled out today, dude, I don't know who you are.
Yep. And the truth of the matter is, yeah, they probably opted into like 2 other sites before they signed into yours, and they probably will opt into 5 more after they sign into yours. So you are competing. You have to have a really strong introduction, a strong pitch, and then of course capture them as fast as possible. And I'm telling you this, if you get them on the phone and you are able to serve them, they're going to get calls from other people and they're going to ignore it because they're working with you. They're going to say, hey, I'm already talking to someone, and hang up with that person. So you want to be upfront for sure.
You want to try to establish some value too.
Absolutely. So again, I was able to build a book of business using these leads, but the problem is I was again competing. So I would have pre-qualifications and whatnot, but then they would get called by other lenders or realtors, and then I would lose them somewhere in the fold. So that was my frustration, that I didn't like the fact that I was competing with these leads. Like there was like 5 other people calling, because again, these people are not exclusive. So I found a way to get learning and coaching on how to get my own leads generated, where it's really exclusive to me, because I'm catching these people before they're even thinking about buying a home. They're not even considering buying a home or financing or whatever, and I'm in their news feed, and it kind of it motivates them to click just to get some information or whatever. So it's exclusive to me. I still try to reach them as fast as possible, but it's not like they're actively searching and they happen to find me and fill out information. This is me capturing them when they're doing their normal Facebooking. And that's why I believe creating a funnel on Facebook is more valuable than buying leads from, say, Zillow or whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how the funnel is built. It's going to be really quick, but if you have any questions, I will have a Q&A with Jason at the end of the webinar. And I will also show you how you can use this tool that I'm going to show you how to create and generate leads and spend $0 on advertising. So I'm going to show you at the end of the webinar how you can create this tool and still be able to generate leads without spending any money. Okay. Do you have anything to add before I get started, Jason?
No, let's get started, man. Let's see the free funnel.
Yes, and before I really get started, I want to, of course, thank you guys for coming. I know we had a schedule earlier, but we ended up having to reschedule because some chick named Parker got in the way and decided to ruin everything. So I blame Parker for everything. So
oh man, Parker's wearing me out, buddy.
Yeah, Parker's definitely a drama queen, right?
Yeah, she's wearing me out.
Yeah. So okay, I'm gonna share my screen right now, guys. So let me know, Jason, if you do see it.
Yep, I see you there.
Okay, so this is my Facebook profile page, right? This is what everyone sees whenever they log on. They see either the profile or they see home, right? So I'm going to show you right now exactly what you need to do from A to Z to get your funnel started, okay? So you click this little arrow right here, and it'll say create ads. See, it's very simple. You click it, and it gives you all these different options, right? Now, I do have a slide that I want to show you guys so that you guys can kind of keep up, and I will make it downloadable for you guys whenever we're finished with this. So let me see here. So as you can see on the first slide or first part, it says open Ads Manager and select options, right? So you can see that you select create ads and you select the lead generation. So I'm going to switch the screen again to where I'm showing you what I'm doing. So there's all these options. It says, what is your marketing objective? Do you see that, Jason?
Yep.
Okay, lead generation is where you want to go. And the reason why you want to select lead generation is because Facebook is smart enough to know what you're trying to accomplish when you're doing lead generation. So they already lead you to the steps on what you need to do to get the lead generation funnel started. So I click that, and then it will, tell you to continue. Let's call it lead generation for buyers, right? Let's just call it that. So I'm going to click continue. Now you see it's saying ad set name. You can name this whatever you want to make it easy to remember. I'm just going to put webinar buyer lead funnel, right? Now you can select the page if you already have one, but I want to show you how to do it from scratch, okay? Because a lot of these people who are watching this webinar might not have a page, or you might have a realtor page, and the realtor page is probably not the ideal source, okay? And I'll explain to you why later. But I will create a new page, and you can select whatever category you fit in. Let's call it a community, right? And let's call it Larry's Hood, right? And of course, you would name it something else, but I'm just to make it easy, and you would select a picture. So, I don't know if I want to select this one. Here, we'll select my headshot, right? So now I have a profile picture and a community called Larry's Hood, right? So right now what Facebook is doing is Facebook is creating a page that is controllable from my profile. And just to demonstrate to you its existence, I will actually show you. See more. You see your pages. And you see Larry's Hood right there. So it created a page for me. When you click it, it's going to be a shell. There's not going to be anything in there except for my profile, but you will eventually want to go here and populate it with content and data, add a cover, maybe add a description and whatnot. But again, I just wanted to show you that you want to create a page from scratch, right? So right now it's loading my page. Read and accept Facebook lead ad terms before creating your ad on this page, meaning it will not let me create an ad until I view the terms. I agree to the terms, click it, and therefore now my ad will be created within Larry's Hood, okay, which is this page right here.
So Larry, let me ask you real quick. Why wouldn't you use your realtor, just a regular realtor page? Like say if I had just Jason Morris, Myrtle Beach real estate agent.
The thing about that is when you put a salesperson on the page, it creates a kind of a defense for the audience. Like they're like, okay, well, this is an advertisement. This is a page that's controlled by this salesperson. So if I were to opt in or engage or subscribe, I'm going to get a lot of spam from this salesperson, or this salesperson is going to try to communicate with me. And a lot of these people who are looking for information, they just want to browse. They're like the window shoppers. They're not ready to talk to a salesperson. Like when you go into a store and you're like to shop for clothes, and when the attendant comes out and says, "Can I help you?" You always say what? "No, I'm just looking," right? So you're kind of telling them to go away. I don't want you to hover around me and sell me anything. Let me browse, right? It's the same reaction online. If you go to a Facebook page and it's obviously ran by a salesperson, a realtor or lender or whatever, then the person is going to be less likely to engage on the page because maybe they don't like who you are, maybe they already have a realtor they're more with, whatever. So it's already kind of fighting an uphill battle to maintain and gain their attention, right? Plus, when you have the ad will say what page it is. So if the page says Jason Morris's Realty Group, then we'll be like, okay, well, this is obviously an ad. I don't want to click here for more information about buying houses because then I'll have to talk to Jason Morris, right?
Yeah.
But if the ad says, I don't know, I'm in Dallas-Fort Worth, so let's call it Hot Homes in Dallas-Fort Worth, then it sounds more generic. It sounds more a community type page and not a salesperson.
Let's use an example, and I saw this in your list. So I was checking out your list while you were creating this thing. So I saw you had one that had a veteran's name in it. I think it was Veterans Alliance or Veterans something.
Yes, I will show you that. I was trying to hide that, but you caught it, so I'll let you. I'll go
I
ahead and use
caught
it.
you, man. I was quick. I seen the Hot Wives Club too. I didn't think that was a good example for this, but
Yeah.
okay. So I seen the Veterans Alliance down there.
Yeah. So let me show it to you. I created the Veterans Alliance because I actually obviously do VA loans, right?
Yes.
So I make this a community page dedicated to veterans. So I never say anything like you will never see Larry Lee posted this or Larry Lee said that. You might have me like something or comment, but it'll never be me posting. It'll always be the Veterans Alliance that posts, right?
Yes.
And you see it says published by Larry Lee Lender right here, but this is only an administrator can see this, but the public does not see this. Okay, yeah. So I put news. I put I let people advertise.
You put things that would be what am I trying to say? You put things to be relevant to a veteran that may be looking to buy a house or use their VA eligibility.
Well, actually, with the Veterans Alliance, I don't even talk about buying homes or whatever. To me, it's just a veteran-friendly group.
You're building an audience, basically, of veterans.
Absolutely.
Is basically what it is. And then that audience of veterans, like, for example, if there's 500 people that like that, more than likely that those 500 people are more than likely going to be qualified to get a VA loan.
Absolutely.
Or have some eligibility based on their interest in that group.
Yes, or they know somebody, right?
Yes.
Who's a veteran. So that's the whole point. The whole point is to get them to come in and not scare them off. Because if it said Larry's Veterans Alliance, they're like, well, who the heck is Larry? I don't know who Larry is. He's nobody to me. So no, I'm not going to join. But I created the Veterans Alliance with Veterans Texas. I mean, I make it very, very generic, and I try to make it very, very VA qualified borrowers. Like I target them, but I don't make it obvious. But I do pin this ad that, I mean, this is the funnel right here that I created. You see, I got 168 engagements. Only 5,300 people looked at it. This is something I've been posting. People comment and everything. But you see, it says Veterans Alliance and it says the ad copy, but it didn't say anything about me. It didn't say anything about a lender or whatever. It just says pre-qualify now. That's all it says. And then we put VA Home Loan Team, but it didn't say Larry Lee with Open Mortgage or whatever. Obviously, whenever when they click in, the link, it has my information on it because I have to for advertisement purposes.
And I think a lot of agents miss this. They create a page, and they might create a page like Veterans Alliance, for example, and then they just spam the page with listings over and over. And there's never really valuable information or trying to create a relationship or anything other than a property link to their website.
Yeah, I like to compare a business page with a lot of spam, meaning me advertisement as an infomercial, right? So basically, when someone goes to your page, it's like, okay, well, this is an infomercial. It's basically a 30-minute long commercial. So I'm not interested in watching. It's not entertaining to me. I'm not wanting to buy this product, so I'm going to go and change the channel, right? You have to treat your page like a network television show, for instance, like Friends, right? Friends shows you 20 minutes of entertainment and maybe 7 to 10 minutes of commercials, right? So they show you a chunk of entertainment shows, and then they show you a commercial, and they show you some entertainment shows, and they show you a commercial. That's not exactly how you should approach social media, because if you pummel them with nothing except for ads about yourself or what you do, then again, people will be turned off. They're not going to subscribe. They're not going to like or engage. Whereas if you give them, bits of entertainment, what we call infotainment, then they're likely to engage. I mean, that's why you see a lot of these pages that go viral. What are they viral? Why are they viral? Because their videos are funny. Someone falling off. I don't know, like they're skateboarding, they're falling off, and they hit their nuts on the floor or something like that, or a cat, scratching someone in the face. It's entertaining, right? But then you'll see that in the middle there'll be like ads or links to whatever sponsors they have. But yeah, that's how you should treat your business page if you want people to engage. Is make it entertaining, not completely informational or driven by advertisement.
Yeah, try to create engagement.
Absolutely. And I mean, the truth of the matter is, I like to use my personal page more for that, but I am learning to leverage my business pages to get more engagement. But yeah, I mean, you definitely want to create a community page or a generic page, and not something directed to you as the salesperson, because again, it will scare people off. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Perfect. So again, eventually I will have to go back and populate this page with fun information. I mean, right now it says Larry's Hood. I really should have named it like Dallas-Fort Worth neighborhoods, or beautiful homes of Dallas-Fort Worth, or whatever neighborhood you're in, whatever community you're in. Like Myrtle Beach, I would call it Myrtle Beach housing, or homes of Myrtle Beach, whatever. And then I would post information about Myrtle Beach. Maybe the best restaurants of Myrtle Beach, or if there's any news about the schools, or maybe someone that just got recently voted as the new sheriff or whatever. You post that on there to kind of give people information about the community, but then you sprinkle a little bit of advertisement inside. So that's how you would populate it. Okay. So once you have the page set up, you can do a couple of things, but we're pretending like this is the first time you're doing it. So you got to create a new audience, right? So to me, it makes the most sense to geo target, meaning target where you're at. So I live in the 75287 zip code. So I'm going to select that as the area I'm going to target, you see. And it tells me I have a reach of 96,000 people, which to me, that's a pretty good amount of people. And the reason why I'm selecting my area, because I do live in an area with a couple of houses in neighborhoods, but I do live in an area that's heavy with apartments and condos. Okay, and I'm going to tell you why I'm selecting that particular zip code. But you see, there's 96,000 people there, right? You can select the age. In reality, when it comes to housing, you can't really discriminate, right? So I have to be able to populate or advertise to all ages. I can't make this like 50 or 30 or whatever, because at least for lenders, you're kind of they call it redlining. I can't discriminate based on age or race.
Let's say for example though, let's just say for real estate agent, say
Mm-hmm.
we've got an ad running that's for a 55 plus community.
Right.
I feel like this is probably like the best example of this. We got an ad running for a 55 plus community. We wouldn't want to spend our advertising dollars marketing to 18-year-olds for that.
No,
We want to
absolutely not.
adjust that age so that we're targeting that demographic correctly.
Right. So I would actually be selecting about 50, maybe 51 or 50. And the reason why I would do that is because I would think to myself that, maybe the couple, there's a 55-year-old and there's a 50-year-old there. Right.
Yeah.
So
One of them might be at that age. It might be maybe the husband's a little older, the wife's a little bit older, and
right.
or maybe they lied about their age on Facebook.
You never know. Right?
That's right.
Yeah. But I'm gonna leave that alone. But of course, as a realtor, you probably select that. I also leave gender alone. But I actually, for a realtor, you might want to select women because maybe women make most of the decisions, or whatever you believe. Okay, so you can customize that. Obviously, we speak English, but if you do speak Spanish, maybe you want to add Spanish too. So I'm gonna type how you can do that. I don't speak Spanish, so I'm gonna leave that alone. And then you could actually get into detailed targeting. So I did the geo targeting, and then I did the age and the demographics. Right now I can do detailed targeting. Now detailed targeting can get really, really involved really quickly. Okay, you can select based on behavior, their job, their income, their interests, fields of study. See right here, fields of study. You can select so many different options, so you can get lost in it. And I would, of course, encourage you guys to do your own research to find out what kind of targets you want to put in here. I'm going to make it simple, so that for the purpose of this webinar, I'm going to target renters. Okay, so I'm going to demographics. I go to home ownership. I will select renters. You see, because I want to create an ad for renters. Because to me, if they're renting a condo or a home or an apartment, they're not a home owner. Right? That's what my logic is, and I want to target those people. Okay.
Now, how does Facebook decide that somebody's a renter or not a renter? Is it based off of their activities on Facebook?
For the most part, yes.
In an algorithm?
Yes, as an algorithm, it kind of watches their behavior. Also they'll check in. Like maybe they'll check in at the gym, at the apartment, or they'll be swimming. The thing about smartphones and Facebook, they're married together, right? So they communicate to each other. So, I mean, haven't you gotten to the point where you got on your phone and if the phone tells you how many minutes it's going to take you to go home before you do anything? That's them using, geo-targeting to give you, value. They're giving you information based on where you're at. They know that based on your habits, you always stop at this place and stop at this place every single day. So one of them is going to be home, one of them is going to be your office or your job. Right.
Now I see there too, it gives you the opportunity to target life events.
Mm-hmm.
So you could actually target things like, well, I guess there's so much stuff there. There's so many things: newly engaged, newlyweds.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people get engaged and they buy a new house. Maybe you want to target newlyweds, or just say if you're not a real estate agent, you're a wedding professional. You can target newlyweds, or not newlyweds, but newly engaged.
I would target new parents. You see.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
What I would target. Yeah, because new parents, maybe they need to, upgrade their home. A 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom apartment is not enough room. Like Parker probably doubled, how much space you guys needed, right?
Oh yeah, so. Yeah. I mean, we're going through that right now. My home office, I lost my home office to a nursery, right?
Yep.
So I went and rented a little office space somewhere.
There you go. See, so now you can move into a new place and get your home office again, get it back, right?
That's right.
But I'm going to keep it simple. Like I said, I'm going to keep it with renters, and that's it. Okay. just to simplify the webinar. And you could change that. Well, actually, you know what? I'm gonna add one more thing. Okay, and I think this might actually interest realtors. I'll also select income. Okay, so you might want to
that is a good one.
where is it? Financial, right? Income, right? You want to target people with the highest income possible, obviously, right? So I'm going to stop at, let's see here.
Well, here's an idea. Like, what if we're trying to target first-time home buyers?
Well, this is just picking everyone up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is just picking those people up, meaning it's saying that you're trying to also kind of grab these people's attention. But I'm going to show you what you can do to narrow. See, you got to exclude. You can narrow who you advertise to, and you can again select first-time home buyers. But the truth of the matter is, you don't want to advertise to people who can't afford a house, right? So maybe this right here might be a little too low. I don't know,
Yeah.
right?
Depends on your market.
It depends on your market.
But let's say for example, like in our area, DR Horton is building these things called express homes. An express home is like a little affordable 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, right?
Right.
So, more than likely somebody that's making $150,000 isn't going to buy that house. More than likely that house is being built as affordable housing, first-time home buyers type options, and a lot of them are being built in areas that can get approved for 100% financing. So it's for people that, their target audience is people that don't have a lot of money, right? They don't have big down payments and stuff.
Right.
So we might want to run ads. If we were looking for buyers for that property type, we might want to look for people making that $30,000 to $50,000.
So if you want to do that, this is what I would do, right? So let's go ahead and X this all out, right? So you can actually simply just click it and it'll erase all the things I selected. And then you go to browse, demographics, financial, back to income, and then you select those people, right? And let's say you don't want to waste your marketing dollars on people who are making 200,000 plus as a household, right? Like to you, that's not your target. That's not your audience, right? So see how I selected 150 to 249. That's the household, right? And then I stop selecting. So those are the people I'm trying to target, include, right? Here I'm going to exclude, right? So right here, I can actually tell Facebook, do not add people who are in this demographic. So I'm going to exclude over 500,000. I'm going to exclude 350 and 250. So now Facebook will not send ads to these people. You see, therefore saving my marketing dollars and not wasting it on people who probably won't care about my ad, right? So that's how you do that. Also, if you are a realtor, I would probably suggest excluding other realtors. You don't want other realtors seeing your ad, unless you're advertising like a listing. Like, let's say you're a listing agent and you're trying to get attention from other realtors about your listing. Then yeah, go ahead and target them right here. And you can also even select it must be, which I think is like right here. You can see must match at least one of the following. You see, and this will definitely narrow it because you can put something like must own a gun, right? Own a gun or whatever. Then that's going to definitely narrow the search. Okay, but I'm not going to touch that for now. But as you can see, you can select your target audience based on location, age, male or female, language, and then all sorts of demographics. You can even select all the way down to where they work. So like in my neighborhood, they're building like a Toyota center, like a plant or headquarters. So we're gonna get a lot of Toyota people. So I might want to create an ad just for Toyota employees, right? So I can select, like I said, demographics, and I can actually select work and employers and type in Toyota and select Toyota USA. You see, I can do that if I want to. So there's a lot of options with targeting.
So one of the questions Joe Bryan just asked is, should he make multiple ads targeting small portions or one ad targeting a lot of portions?
If it was up to me, I would create the most hyper local or hyper focused ad possible, right? And then I would perfect it. What I mean by that is I'll make the best ad possible for that one perfect target, right? And then once you're really good at it, then duplicate the same rationale, but then change the audience a little bit. So let's say I'm targeting Toyota employees only, and I perfect it. I'm getting like one or two leads that I can convert every single day, and it's costing me, a reasonable amount per lead. Then now I'm going to duplicate the exact lead, exact funnel, and instead of targeting Toyota, I'm targeting people who work for, I don't know, Dell, right? So yeah, I mean that's how I would do it.
Wow. So Suzanne Eckerly, there was even a category in there called likely to move.
Yep, absolutely. Now the thing about those is if they're likely to move, right? Likely to move, something told Facebook these people are likely to move, right? So what are they doing? Maybe they're looking at realtor pages. Maybe they're clicking a bunch of Zillow ads. Maybe they're kind of shopping, looking for homes, or they're on the MLS or whatever. To me, that kind of pushes them to they're already engaging with other realtors and other lenders, and you're kind of already competing. You know what I'm saying? What my goal with my funnels is to get people who had no idea they wanted to move and plant that seed in their mind. It's like inception, right? Like, hey, you're renting? Well, guess what? The same amount that you're paying rent, you could be paying a mortgage, and making them go, huh, okay, I'm interested in more information. And therefore, it's exclusive to me. I'm the first person they're going to talk to, and then I'm going to nourish that relationship into converting them into an actual buyer. Whereas likely to move, again, why is Facebook saying they're likely to move? They're priority shopping, they're priority engaging with other professionals in the industry.
So Greg is asking, can you target members of another page, like for example a school, or like say for example a specific real estate office, like
Yes, you can.
so, or let's say for example, I want to target the South Carolina Gamecocks, USC. Um, um, I can actually go on there and target people that are interested in South Carolina Gamecocks.
Well, let me see here. I want to make sure. So I took away the geolocating, right?
Yep.
So let's South Carolina. So this I'm putting must, okay?
Well, it's University of South Carolina.
University. So there's schools right there. You see, interest, employers.
Wow. Then they break down. There's multiple USC campuses all over the place, so they actually break it down.
Yep, it's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man.
Yep. So I mean, the way I look at it, the sky's the limit. Obviously, you might not find every single target, but a good enough target to get started. Plus, you kind of have to think outside the box. Maybe target people who like a certain restaurant that's in that campus, right? Again, if you can't find the school or the actual business that you're looking for, find something that people who are part of that school might likely engage with. Again, if there's a restaurant that's very, very popular within the campus, select people who like this restaurant, whatever.
Yeah. Well, what if well, I guess we could, you could really get down to really, really targeting things like we have Coastal Carolina University where I live, and a lot of parents come and buy houses for their kids. If we looked
Yep.
at the demographics and where the kids are coming from Coastal Carolina, which that information is probably available through Coastal Carolina, where their student base is coming from, we could target those areas they're heavily coming from, and we could target age ranges, demographics, income for the parents that are most likely going to buy a house for their kid rather than letting their kid live on campus or in student housing or whatever. You could even go
Absolutely.
down that and even try to target those people, which I mean,
Absolutely.
that's amazing. It's more and more difficult the more you try to zone in on who's doing what, but
Yeah,
that
and
is an option, and that is something that you could do. If you wanted
yeah,
to target, if you wanted to create a referral program for Walmart workers across the country, you could technically do it with this.
yes. um, and targeting to me is probably the part that's going to take you the longest. to figure out, which is why we're obviously spending a lot of time on it, because there's so many different. I mean, it's almost like infinity, how many different option combinations that you can do.
Oh
But
yeah.
you got to play with it. Every market is different. I mean, just because something works for me in my market, it's not going to work for you in your market. So you definitely have to play with it, and this will probably be the most interesting part, but also the most frustrating part, because there's so many different variables that you can change. But yeah, targeting, you could probably do some research like on Google, or maybe even like maybe Facebook groups, and ask them what people are doing to I guess focus their targeting to create more action for their leads and
Yeah.
funnels.
You know what? The Chamber of Commerce has an amazing amount of information. Like, especially like if it's a larger chamber of commerce, like the Myrtle Beach one.
Right.
The Myrtle Beach Chamber of Commerce actually puts out all of their market research. I think it's twice a year, and it's free. You can go on their website and download the PDF. They actually even do a presentation. It's like a 4-hour presentation that's open to the general public. And you go, you can find out there's 7 states we have tourists coming from, and I mean, it goes in depth until you want to throw up. It's insane.
I'm certain there's something like that in every market, right? So yeah, this part I can't help you with, because again, every market is different, every audience is different, and it depends on who you're trying to reach. Okay, you have to kind of decide that for yourself,
Yeah.
right?
Suzanne Eckersley was asking, is there an optimum number to have for your targets? As the more you narrow down your selection, the less numbers you'll be contacting. But that's
I
not necessarily a bad thing, right?
Yeah, no, it's not. No, it's not, because you're going to put your dollars closer to your ideal client, right? To me, I like to. You have to look at it as a ratio. If you're going to spend a little bit of money, and when I say little, I'm talking like $5 a day, then you want a smaller audience, because you'll make more use per dollar, right? Now, if you're wanting to target like 1 million people, then expect to pay $100 a day, right? So it depends on how much you want to spend. For me, a general rule of thumb, if I'm spending $5 a day, I'm targeting at most 100,000, but probably closer to 50,000. And it'll tell you right here, see, estimated daily results reaches 1,600 to 5,000 people. And I'm going to show you my screen again, because I'm showing you the slide. Let's see here. Okay, so as you can see in the screen, the audience size, right, is 72,000 people based on what I've selected so far, right? And depending on how much I spend, they're telling me I'm going to reach 1,600 to 5,000 people of 5,800. Okay, to me, that's a good size audience for what I'm trying to accomplish. Because remember, I'm only targeting a specific zip code, but there's a lot of renters here, and I'm trying to convert these renters into wanting to buy a home, or at least consider the idea. So, as a lender, my ad copy would be like, did you know that the amount you're spending on rent, you'd be paying a mortgage or something like that? If you're a realtor, it's like, hey, tired of paying rent, why don't you consider paying your own mortgages of someone else's mortgage, or whatever you want to say, but you want to kind of you want to target the people where they're hurting the most. People don't want to rent. They never want to rent. They want to be paying towards equity. So that's why you kind of target that one specific thing that they're doing, right? So yeah, that's the reason why I have my target the way it is, right? So once you figure out who you want your audience to be, there's a few other things that you can do. Like, you can add the connection type. You make it so that people who like your page. I don't like to do that. Or you can exclude the people who like your page. I mean, if you only want to advertise people who haven't liked your page, so to get more potential likers, then you can do that. I generally leave this alone, because I don't want to mess with anything. I want to keep it as simple as possible to see if it's working. If it is, then I'll just duplicate it. But if it isn't, then I might have to tweak it. But for the most part, I don't know enough about this to really mess with it. Now, if I have like an audience of like 100,000 people liking my page, and they already are engaging on my page, there's no need for me to target them. Like in your case, Jason, you said you had like 60,000 people liking your page, right?
Yes.
It makes no sense to advertise to them if they're already engaging on your page. So you want to advertise to people who aren't liking your page, who haven't liked your page. So that's why I would select exclude people who like your page. That's what I would do if I was in your case, Jason.
Yeah. Now I've done this the opposite way with my Jason Morris real estate agents that really work business page. I've run ads for different things, targeting the people that like my page because I feel like they already know who I am.
No, that's true. Like people who like your page, more than likely they're other real estate professionals. So for your coaching program, that makes absolute sense because
Yep.
you already have them buying into who you are.
Yeah,
So
they already
yes,
know who I am. They apparently like me, or at least somewhat do. They
yes,
they like what I'm talking about. It's working for them. So I want different things to show up in their news feed sometimes.
absolutely. And there's many different ways to target people. So of course, not enough time to talk about that on the webinar. If you want to reach out
Yeah,
to
this could
either,
have been a 5-hour part by
yes,
itself. Yeah.
yes. So if you guys want more help or more questions about that, please reach out to Jason or myself, and we'll be glad to share our opinions. Right. So I'm gonna save this audience because I want to refer back to it. Literally lender renters, right? We call it literally renters webinar. So I can remember. Now placement is something that's kind of odd as well. Placement, you can actually change where you want these ads to be placed. I generally like to just select mobile only because I'm pretty confident based on statistical research that 80 to 90% of people who are going to see my ad are going to see it on their phone and not on their computer. If people are on their computer, they're probably working and they're not Facebooking. So it's just something that, based on research and of course training, I think this is where you need to be at, mobile, right? Um, and I'll probably opt out on Instagram. I only want Facebook, not Instagram. Okay. So you can select more options, but again, that's for another webinar. But again, I would select mobile only platforms. I would stick to Facebook. Now, since you're starting, I consider this experimental stage. I would try to go as cheap as possible. To me, $5 is a good number, and I'd run it for at least a week, right? So that you can see how it goes for the whole week, and then I would, of course, create the same ad again, but change something a little bit and see how that responds, and see which ad I like better. We call that split testing, right? If you can afford it, you can actually create two ads exactly the same and change one thing and spend $10, meaning $5 each, but if you're just getting started, spend $5 and just kind of see the results. If things aren't working, then change the target or change your ad copy or whatever and see if that helps. But you're going to be experimenting a lot. I mean, I probably created like almost 30 funnels before I found one that I really liked. And I spent a lot of money. It's kind of embarrassing how much money I spent trying to get that funnel to work. But that's the reason why I'm teaching you guys, to help you save money so you don't have to do that, right? But yes, you definitely do need to develop your own target and your own ads, your own ad copy, because every market's gonna be different. So I think $5 a day is good enough to at least see if it works or not. But you see, it did lower the reach. Before I was in when I was spending $20, right? My reach was 1,500 to 4,800, but now that I'm only spending $5, my reach actually went down. You see, so yeah, just keep that in mind, right? Now, on this part right here, it's kind of telling you how you're getting charged for it. I generally leave all this alone. Again, I don't like to mess with the default, just to see how things work. If I do some research and I find out that maybe I should be doing link cleats instead of leads, then I'll do that. But for me, I like to do leads because that's what this Facebook created this whole campaign for, right? For lead generation. So I stick to what Facebook has given me. And again, I leave everything the same here, right? So I continue on. And whenever you have time, you always click this and read over it. And of course, if you have questions, you always reach out to me later or Jason later. So now we get to create the ad. To me, this is the fun part, right? So as you can see, it's under Larry's Hood. And I like the single image. I think it's the simplest. I think it's most controllable. You know exactly what it's going to look like. There's no lag whenever it loads up. Now, if you want to know about these other options, again, you always reach out to me. I can tell you my opinion on it. But I like the single image. As you can see, Facebook made it the default, and I believe they did that for a reason, right? So the images, you can be whatever you want. If you're selecting a particular neighborhood, I would actually try to find a picture from that neighborhood and use that as the main page on your ad. You can upload your own, right? So maybe there's like, you see here, I'm not going to select any of these, right? Because this doesn't make any sense, you know. But I like the stock images, which is cool because if it's a stock image, you know it's legal because Facebook is providing for you, so you're not going to get sued for using it, and more than likely it works, right? I don't know why I typed legal. I should have typed house. So let's select a nice picture of a home. You know what? I'm going to select a couple in front of the house. I think that's kind of a cool message. So I'm selecting that one, press done. As you can see, when I click it, it will upload it automatically. And it will show me kind of a preview of what the ad looks like. Now I can see what it looks like on mobile. I can see what it looks like on this kind of phone. And then, of course, on the instant articles, which is another way that Facebook pushes out your ad. But this is what it's going to look like if someone's on their phone. They'll see my ad and look like this, right? Now, the text or ad copy you can change. This headline is actually right here. Okay, so when I type something, you'll see I actually change. Let's see, it's going to change it. You see, it changes that right there. You see? So that's probably one of the most important parts of the ad because that's when you get the most attention. So I'll put something like tired of renting. Now you got to be careful what you type. Facebook actually has a lot of policies in place. You can't say anything like, do you suck or do you hate your life or something really, really negative. They're not going to approve the ad. So it has to be like, I'm even afraid that they might block this. Right.
You know what? I put in an ad that was just going out for my real estate agents to really work, and I put, "Are you tired of struggling?"
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And Facebook blocked the ad. They said that it was bullying. It was
Yes.
bullying or something like that. I was like, really?
Yep.
Are you tired? I was like, are you tired of struggling in the real estate business? It was
Yes.
something to that effect, and Facebook blocked the ad. And there was nothing wrong with it. It was a common phrase. It wasn't directed towards any one person.
Yes, and I don't have an opinion as to how Facebook makes those decisions. Who's making the decisions. I have no opinion on that. I just kind of abide by their rules because I just want to get the ad out, right? But you like you just said, and like I'm saying now, you have to be careful what you say because they might not approve it, right?
Yeah. Worst case though is if they don't approve it, you just go make some changes to it or create another ad.
Absolutely, it's very easy.
Worst case.
Yeah, very easy. So tired of renting, and then I want to say something like stop paying someone else's mortgage and pay your own, right? And then that's it. And that's going to change this part right here. I don't know why it's not changing it. Sure, I changed it. Oh no, actually, you know what? Because it's a newsfeed ad, it has to be put in here, I think. There it is. See, stop paying someone else's mortgage. You see, and hopefully it looks a little bit better whenever it's on someone else's phone. But if I don't like it, right, then I always change it. I always make it shorter. See, stop paying
rent.
Yeah, stop paying rent. Yeah, there you go. Make it simple. Stop paying rent. Boom. There it is. Right. So as simple as I can make it. You can select the call to action to say whatever you want. Apply now, download, whatever. I like to put I just leave a default sign up, right? And the display link, this is right here, right? I like to leave it alone because again, I'm trying to show you how to create a funnel only using Facebook. No extra website, no landing pages, no extra service or anything. It's all internal to Facebook. So I just leave it alone, right? And then, pixel, that's another conversation, but that's something used for retargeting, right? So I'll explain that in another webinar maybe, or maybe if you just reach out, I can explain to you directly one-on-one, right? So this right here, to me, is one of the new things, and when I say new, like in the last year that Facebook has created that I really like. They have their own opt-in form now. They have their own, I guess you can call it a landing page, right? That way, it's all internal to Facebook. My theory is that when people see an opt-in page from a foreign site or another website, it's scary. It's like, wait a minute, you want me to sign up for something? No, because you're going to spam me. You're going to capture my information, whatever. I want to.
Facebook too. Facebook wants to keep them on Facebook. They don't want to send them to your market leader site or your conversion site.
Absolutely not. They don't want to do that for sure. So that's why I like keeping everything in Facebook. And this is the whole purpose, is to avoid signing up for anything new or paying for anything different, right? So you create a new form, because there's no forms yet. You create a new form, and you can literally make your own landing page. So fill out your information to receive our free consultation. And I want to use an uploaded image. Let's go and select another image. Actually, I don't know why. I wish they would give me the ability to use one of those other, what do you call it, stock pages, but let's just leave it like that. Just be prepared and have the picture ready. Please fill out your information so we can provide expert advice on how to go from paying someone else's mortgage and start paying for your own home or whatever, right? Sign up now. And then, again, they make it very simple. So that's the first page. This is the next page. They're asking for email or full name. You can also add, like a phone number, right? Or whatever you want, date of birth. I mean, I don't go this involved. To me, I want to capture information as quick as possible. I do want their phone number, so that's why I added that. And you can add a custom question too if you want. Privacy policy. Now, this one, you would actually go to your own personal, well, not your own personal website, but like your broker's website or your company's website. And you would copy the private policy here, and then you have to link the site. So I work for Open Mortgage. So I'm going to show my private policy here. This is in the way. So there's my private policy. This is the link. I will copy it, put in the link there, and then I will copy the private policy information and fill it there. This is just so we can be compliant, and of course, and this is probably just the link, so I just copy whatever. It might say something different, but you can say, actually, you can just change it to private policy. I'll just do it like that. I don't want to add a custom disclaimer, but you can if you want. See, give you that option. And then the next one is thank you screen. And you can actually, this is my favorite part, you can actually direct them somewhere. So in your case, Jason, you probably want to direct them to your website or your group, right? So let's go ahead and do that. Let's see that. So I would, after everything's said and done, once the person fills out that form, I would want them to go to my group website. Hopefully they see it, they like it, and they go ahead and subscribe to the group. You press finish, everything is good, and there you go. I have my new lead form, and it will show you exactly how it looks like when someone actually clicks my ad. This is what they'll see. You see? Now, your ad may not be approved. Sometimes this happens, especially if you're targeting housing. So let's pretend that it didn't have that issue or error. But I just want to show you what it would look like, right? But let's pretend that I don't have that issue. The only step left after this would be to place your order. So where I left off, that's why I love Facebook, because it does remember. I will continue. And it will bring me to the last step again, which is place your order. It already populates everything that I did. I will place my order. Now, I personally actually already have a credit card and payment system in place. But as a new marketer, it's going to ask you right now, we need payment information. That's when you go to Ads Manager right here, and you can go to All Tools and Billing and Payment Options or billing methods, and you can put in your credit card or whatever, however you want to pay. But since mine is already in there, it's already reviewing the ad. And I'm gonna leave that for now so you guys can see the full pictures of what you should see. So if you do everything correctly, then this is exactly what you should see at the end. Right now it's in review. Once they view my ad and they like it, they'll put approved. If they don't like it, then they'll send me a message, a notification saying it was not approved, and they'll tell you why, right? So that's it. That's your funnel from A to Z.
Now, Greg asked a good question here. He said he did this before and he wasn't notified that when he received a lead. How do you make sure that you're notified when you receive a lead?
Greg, I thank you for asking that question. I almost forgot. Okay, so yes, there's different ways of capturing those leads or getting notified that you have those leads. Of course, there's third parties like Zapier, and you can actually make it so that Zapier will send you an email when Facebook captures the lead. But of course, I'm trying to avoid spending money. I'm trying to avoid putting any extra work into this. So you can keep it all internal with Facebook. So what you do is you go to, and the bad thing about it is you actually have to literally check yourself. It's not going to give you an alert or anything like that, right? So I go to my personal ad and I go to Power Editor, right? There's probably other ways of doing it, but I like the Power Editor. You can go to Ads Manager too. I go to Power Editor and it will show all my ads. I have a lot of ads, so that's why it's taking a while to populate. While this is loading, I'm going to show you this slide, and I'll provide the slide for everybody. If you guys are wanting it, it kind of just breaks down what was happening. Let me show you the slide while this is loading. So we went from opening the Ads Manager, selecting the options, and then creating the ad set right here. And then you saw me create the ad itself. And then, of course, place order and payment info, right? It's still taking a while. Let me see if we can just do it on the regular Ads Manager. It might be able to let you do it. Okay, here we go. Yes, I can show you this. Okay, so I'm going to go and switch the screen back to my Ads Manager. So these are all the campaigns I've done in the past. So as you can see, I've created hundreds and hundreds of funnels, spent lots of money, right? And got a lot of engagement. But I'm going to show you the one that has actual leads waiting for me. So you see right here, it says VA loan leads campaign. I have 2 forms, right? So you click the actual campaign and you'll see the forms here, right? And you click the actual ad itself and you'll see this right here, lead form, and it'll look like a download button, right? So you click that and you can actually download. It'll tell you, how many you have or whatever, and you press download and it downloads it as a CSV. And there it is. Well, this doesn't have information, but it'll have like, I don't know why it's not populating, but as you can see, it creates this and it gives you like the created time, name, phone number, email, full name, but it downloads it as a CSV. I don't know why I left nothing in there, but That's how you would actually get access to the information. Let me see if this one has it, because I do want to show you how it populates. I don't think it's illegal for me to show you a lead information here. Let me see if this one has anything. Nope, same thing. Let's see.
I always do mine in Google Docs.
Yeah, me too. I do. I like Google Docs the best. I would copy it
Docs.
and then I'll open it. Yeah, I would open it and do Google Docs, whatever. That's exactly how I would do it too.
Yeah, I usually do Google Docs. That way I just have access to it from, everything,
Yep.
I can look at it on my phone or, whatever it is.
So let me show you one that I did for someone else here. You'll see like the lead forms. See, you see these are the lead forms. Nothing's populating. I don't know why. Let's see here. Maybe I can select this one here. Okay, so this one has 45 lead forms. I'll show you this one because it should have some data, but I just want to show you what it looks like. Results here. There's see right there, you can download it. Tells you what you got from what day to what day. Oh no, see, something's glitchy. It's not populating it. It might be because something's weird with my Excel, but let's see. Reactivate. Maybe I have to open it in, what do you call it? Google Docs to see it. See, downloads. No. Well, either way, something's glitching for me, but this should have like 40 names or whatever, emails and whatnot. But that's how you download it. Does that make sense?
That does.
Yeah. Yeah, I apologize. That's not showing me what I'm supposed to be showing. But I mean, I guess it might be good because it might be non-compliant for me to give you names and numbers and emails of people trying to opt in.
Yeah. I think that's probably part of it's probably part of the privacy policy that you make a link to.
Yeah, but I mean, this is the first time I clicked it and it didn't show anything. So I think like it might be a happy coincidence because probably I shouldn't be televising everyone's information on a webinar. But yeah, you normally would see, like I said, names and numbers and emails when it came in and everything. So that's how you answer that question. And yes, that's the last part of my presentation because obviously you need to be able to get to these leads. So thanks for asking that question, Greg.
Cool, man. Do you want to talk about what to do with getting what to do when you get a lead? Here, let's see. We got a couple of questions here on privacy policy. Do we get the broker's info on the privacy policy? Most main real estate websites actually will have a privacy policy. Like, say for example, if you're with EXP, the website they actually give us with EXP has a privacy policy at the bottom that you can link to. Most big franchises have it. Small local brokerages, honestly, I think it's up to the brokerage to come up with that. Let's see. We got Rose Winters said, when they click sign up now, does that information just come to us through our messenger or another way?
So when you click sign up now, it gives you that lead form that I showed you that I created, and you put the name, email, and phone number, right? But if you want to, there is an option to create it so that it goes into Messenger. I haven't experimented with that just yet, but I've heard other people using it and they liked it. So it's almost like someone is up, they click your link and it literally gives you a Messenger notification. But you know, I kind of like the idea of capturing the information, email, phone number, and whatnot, because that way I can, you know, follow with them later, maybe put them in a drip program, whatever. Whereas if you messenger them, you do have their Facebook, but you don't have anything else. So they block you. You kind of lost them. So
Yeah. Yeah. Now, Joe Bryan asked, I've seen ads where the lead form autofills. Is it an option for these on Facebook to do it automatically? I
yes, I think Facebook actually will populate it automatically. Yes, except for the phone number, but they will put the name and email automatically, which is one of the reasons why I like Facebook, because again, it feels safe, right? Someone clicks something on Facebook and Facebook's asking for, if you want access to this, you have to, give your name and email, and people do it all the time. I mean, when people play games, they do it, right? So yeah, it should automatically populate it. I've tried it and it does populate my information, but of course you can try it yourself. Like if you were to create your own funnel, log in as a different account, or maybe ask your spouse to check it out and click your link and see what happens.
Cool, man. Let's see. What other questions do we have here? I was looking down through. Do you call or email your leads?
I actually like to call because 90% of the time they're not going to pick up, right? So it gives me an excuse to leave a voicemail, and then I text them, right? I like texting. I think it's the richest form of communication right now, especially since people are no longer really answering their phones. But I don't want to just text someone automatically. I don't want to just text them out of nowhere, because it might be like, why is this, strange thing, person or entity texting me? So if I call and leave a voicemail and text, they understand why I'm texting. I'm texting them because I try to call them first, right? So that's the process I follow.
Yeah, I tell you what, man. Actually, I got a little bit of a slideshow here. We'll go down through real quick. What to do after you get a lead, Larry. Can you see this okay?
I see it perfectly fine.
Cool. So what do you do after you get a lead, And you got to qualify the lead. You want to ask who they are. What do they want? Are they wanting a condo, a house, a piece of property? No vacation rental. What do they want? When do they want to buy it? Like how soon are they looking for something in the next 30 days? Are they looking for something in the next year? What are they when do they want to buy it? Where do they want to purchase? And then the next one, and what I mean by where is, like, say for example, if they're here in Myrtle Beach, they want to be in North Myrtle Beach, they want to be in Pawleys Island, do they want to be 30 minutes away from the beach? Where exactly is the location? Do they have a neighborhood they like? And then number 5 is how are they going to pay for it? And Larry, I think that's probably like the biggest one. What do you think? How are they going to pay for it? And I think agents kind of forget that. They forget to ask that question. Hey, you know what you want. You see a house you like. Now, what are you gonna how are you gonna pay for it? You know, and then the follow up with them. Man, I think I'm probably like a little bit different than what you said, man. I think that you should exhaust all resources to get in touch with a person. I think you should call them. If they don't answer the phone, you should send them a text. If they don't, I think if you don't answer the phone, I think you should text them, and I think you should go ahead and email them also.
Yes, I would do that too. I would email them as well, but I would in my mind, if I text them, they're going to respond back, right?
Yeah.
Now, if I don't get a response within 24 hours, that's when I send the email out.
Now, I think that every follow up you do with them, I think you got to have a purpose, and we forget about this too. We think the purpose of the follow up is, hey Larry, do you still want to buy from me? You know what I mean?
Right.
But you gotta keep in mind what their needs are as part of the follow up, and it's going to be more about hey, after I've talked to you, I've had that initial conversation. You told me, hey, you want to buy a 3-bedroom condo, you want it to be on the ocean, you want to spend $250,000, you got 20% to put down. I've already hooked you up with a great lender named Larry Lee, and now my follow up needs to be a lot more about, hey Larry, I got a great deal that's in Patricia Grand that fits your needs, and it can get financed. And the rental, you said rental income is really important to you. It has great rental income. I want to make sure you got it. I'm going to email it over to you this afternoon. When do you think you and your wife are going to be down here to look? Every follow up you make needs to have a purpose, and it can't be just, hey Larry, you ready today? Oh, not today? Okay, I'll call you back tomorrow and I'll see if you're ready then,
Yes.
And I think that we need to use multiple forms of communication because,
Absolutely.
sometimes agents go, well, man, I called them yesterday and they hadn't called me back. Well, man, the reason they hadn't called you back is because they were busy. You called them at 11 o'clock in the morning. Hopefully they were at work because they need to be able to qualify for this loan they're going to get.
Right.
Um, and agents don't realize, dude, there are people that call me every day and they want to sell me something, whether it's a real estate product or service, or they got something I really want. And dude, sometimes the reason I don't call them back is just because I'm busy. It isn't that
Yes.
I didn't want to talk to him. Like, I got a buddy of mine that he just texts me. He goes, "Hey man, I've called you 3 times and you hadn't called me back." And it's like, dude, I want to talk to him. He's got something I need to talk to him about. The reason I haven't talked to him is just, dude, I'm busy. I got a baby at home. I'm back to work today. Back to work this week. It's been a busy, busy week. And so a lot of times the reason people aren't following you back is because they're just busy. So now here's the problem that we have. If you're generating a lot of leads, and you know this, Larry, you're going to get a lot of unqualified leads, right?
Right.
I mean, according to Lending Tree right now, and is that 46% of Americans have a credit score under 640. So what happens when you have a credit score under 640?
Well, I actually can help at a 580, and some other lenders can, but sometimes they need to lower their debt to income ratio, meaning they can borrow less house. They're going to need down payment or reserves. I would say I should say down payment, but they would have to have more funds. So it does get a little bit more hairier once they're below 640, 620.
So when they have below a 640, what's going to happen is their loan is going to be a little bit more conditional.
Right.
They got to jump through some more hoops. They got to pay off a few more credit cards. They got to do some extra stuff.
Yes.
Okay. Or they got to bring more money to put down. And most of these people, they're first time home buyers or they're renting a place right now. How many of them have that extra money? How many of them have 20% to put down?
They don't. None of them.
Yeah, none of them. So what I tell you what you need to do is part of your follow-up plan. You don't want to throw these leads away because these leads, you just spent money for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just because they can't buy today, if you put them in a solid process and a solid program, they might be able to buy 6 months from now. They might be able to buy a year from now. They're going to get some tax money back in April. In April, they can clean up their credit. They got a little more money to put down. They can pay down some credit cards. There's a lot of things that can happen when if they're getting a tax refund, which is quite interesting in that first time home buyer market too. So part of your follow up, you got to have a CRM to put these people in, or you got to
Right.
have some way to keep up with them if you're going to generate a lot of leads online. And then with 46% of your leads, knowing the statistic from the day you start that 1 out of 2 of your leads isn't going to be able to qualify because of a credit issue, you got to have a program to put them in. And that's a lot of what we've been doing. We've been doing long-term follow-up with these leads. Put them in your database, send them things that are informational, put them in your CRM. If you're using something like conversion, that'll help you and stuff. We've been putting the ones that are serious about buying a house, but they don't have the 10 or 20% the extra money they need to put down. Some of these people are 3 to 6 months away from having that credit score they need. They're just not in a credit repair program.
Yep.
And they need to be in a credit repair program because it's going to keep them accountable. Plus, it's going to show them a proven system to get their credit score that extra 20 to 40 points they need. And lots of times, if they have that credit score that even Larry can't help them, they're below 580. Sometimes you just need a great relationship with a leasing agent today. Hopefully a leasing agent that's going to work with you long term that can send these people back to you. And sometimes, some of these apartment complexes and different stuff will pay you a referral. So those leads aren't useless and they aren't money thrown away because you're building that long term database.
Yes, and I would absolutely keep in touch with those people. In fact, I would automatically set an alert to reach out to them within 6 months to maybe even 9 months to see if you can get them into a home instead of a rental or having them renew their lease, right? And another bonus when it comes to getting these leads, because it kind of goes along with what Jason is saying. Follow up with these people. Don't drop them, because now you have a database of buyers, people who are interested in buying homes. You can use that to leverage. Like, you can, if you are looking for a listing, you can tell the person you're trying to sell, hey, listen, I got a database of over 100 buyers in this zip code alone, who I can promote your listing to. It kind of makes you a little bit more stronger when it comes to a marketer, especially if you capture that lead from a funnel. So let's say you create a funnel saying, hey, let me help you sell your home. They opted in, and you're communicating to them about, listing their house. And, you want to prove to them that you are a marketing expert. You can tell them, listen, through social media, through all these avenues, I'm going to have your house marketed better than anyone else. I mean, guess what? How did you find me? Through my Facebook marketing. Exactly. I'm going to find buyers for you. I have already 100 people ready to look at your listing.
That's
You can
right.
use that as leverage.
I already got buyers here in the pipeline. A lot of agents don't really understand that if you have a good system to keep up with your buyers and a good system to put them in a long-term follow-up plan with them, then when these sellers say, "Hey, do you have buyers looking?" Yeah, man. Actually, I always got buyers looking. Now, I don't know if they're interested in your house, but I always do have buyers looking.
Right. Exactly.
And we always have
Exactly.
buyers in the pipeline. It's just a matter of some of them are at the beginning of the pipeline and some of them are, towards the end. But it's like anything else. Your pipeline, the more people you keep stuffing in there, sooner or later, people's going to start coming out the other end.
Absolutely.
You know,
And the truth of the matter is, you're not lying to them when you say I have 100 buyers in my database. That's a true statement, right? And sometimes these buyers who aren't ready, they're not ready because they're not motivated. But if they find a home they love and you happen to be the one listing it, all of a sudden they're working their ass off to get their credit taken care of. They're paying down their loans. They're getting gift funds, whatever, because they found their dream home, right? So it's a good way to kind of add value to your list, because you can't just constantly bombard them with, hey, are you ready yet? Are you ready yet? No, send them some listings, show them what they're working towards.
yeah.
That way you can kind of make, I guess, kind of ignite or bring life to your database.
So these buyers that are a little bit long term, they do have credit problems. As a lender, how often do you think that the agent should follow up and engage those people?
I would actually, and this is something that I believe all agents should already have, but I mean, I'm not a realtor, right? I'm not a real estate agent, so I can't pretend to know how you guys feel. But I think you guys should all have some sort of access to an IDX system, right? So that's where you should be sending your lead that you're getting. You should be sending to them, because the IDX itself will kind of manage the lead,
Yeah.
and at the same time, you could
It's
actually
going to do a lot of
track.
the contact for you.
Yeah, and if these people are serious or they're actively looking, you're going to see their activity. You're going to see them clicking this house or saving this house, saving this listing, or they might even reach out to you and say, hey, can we look at this house or whatever. So to me, that's how I would keep up with these type of bars, even if they need credit repair or they're not quite ready. I'm telling you, you keep their dream in front of them. It'll motivate them to work towards
Of
getting
course.
qualified.
Now that CRM, I tell agents too, you can't rely, like we're using Conversion. And Conversion's fantastic. It calls, it emails, it texts, it will actually even call them and call your phone. It's kind of annoying sometimes. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you're in the middle of something and you got a call coming from Conversion. But the thing is, you can't rely on that system 100%. You still have to do that personal touch and that personal outreach and just say, hey, Larry, just wanted to call you, see how things were going. And you said you were wanting to buy, wanted to see how things were going with your credit, wanted to see if I could help you with anything, do you guys think you're about ready? Or sometimes you call them and this is why you should always be in contact with the lender, because sometimes you're calling them going, hey, man, I know that you were self-employed. A self-employed loan, a self-employed person was tough to get a loan for a year ago.
Right.
Especially, us people that are self-employed, we try to take as much write-offs as possible. So sometimes it's embarrassing when we look at the net that's on our taxes, but we've got a lot of deposits and checking accounts.
Right.
The check statement verification loans didn't exist 12 months ago in my market.
Right.
And
But
now it's kind of becoming more and more common.
Yes, I actually work with an investor that does bank statement loans, right?
Yeah.
So I do have that product.
Yeah. Oh, well, good. I didn't actually know that. I wasn't pitching your product. But that didn't exist 12 months ago or 18 months ago in my market. Now, that person that's got a net tax return of $7,000, but they're a contractor out here and they're making 150 grand a year, and they're depositing all the money's going through their checking account. They just expense it all out.
Right,
That person can
absolutely.
buy a house today.
Yes,
So you need to be in contact with your lender or lenders about what new programs they have coming out. That way you can say, hey, man, 6 months ago when we talked, you had this problem. Look, I got a lender that can fix that for you today. Or 3 months ago, um, because there's constantly, as we see federal programs changing and federal things going through House and Senate with new presidential party and presidential cabinet, we're going to see a lot of things changing in the lending world.
absolutely,
And so it's going to
absolutely,
be more important to stay in contact with lenders, and it's going to be more important to stay in contact with your buyers, because just because they can't get financing today doesn't mean there won't be a new program or something to come out in 30, 60, 90 days that they'll actually qualify for.
absolutely.
I
I mean,
mean,
and to your point, Jason, I actually have categories of people who are not quite ready yet. Like, let's say, for instance, student loans is the reason why they don't qualify because they have
yes.
too high student loans. I actually have a bucket for just student loan people because I know that they're working on changing the way the guidelines handle student loans. And the moment they make it so it's easier, I'm emailing those people. I'm calling those people right away. I say, hey, there's a new guideline that says that now you can qualify based on your past information. And as long as you do everything correctly, you should be able to be qualified. And there goes your new pipeline. There goes your new set of clients. And
Yeah.
because you reached out to them in the beginning and you worked really hard for them in the beginning, I don't see why they wouldn't want to talk to you again, especially when everyone else is ignoring them.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Student loans are being calculated. Student loans and deferment are being calculated with payments at 1 to 2% of the balance as far in their debt to income ratio, correct? So if they
Correct.
owe $100,000 on student loans, which is not hard to do in 2017, they can
Mm-hmm.
owe $100,000 in student loans, and they're being calculated at $1 to $2,000 as far as a monthly payment towards their debt to income ratio. So that
Absolutely.
crushes most people looking to buy a house right there. They had $1,000 a month to their monthly payments. So what that's going to end at some point, and there's going to be banks that are going to allow those student loans and deferment not to be counted as much, or to be counted at a reasonable payment.
Well, if you watch the news, you see it's a very hot topic right now, student loans and how they're being handled. There's a lot of talk about policy changes and whatnot. So yeah, I would definitely, if you have a borrower or a buyer that was perfect every way around, except for the fact that they have a lot of student loans, I would definitely make sure I have access to them, because when things change, you're going to have a lot of very happy people when you contact them. So that might be a funnel idea. Maybe, are you having problems getting pre-qualified because of your student loans? Click here for, information as to how that might change in your favor. I mean, that might be a target, whatever
Yeah,
you want.
and that's probably a target with little to no competition right now too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
cool, man. Well, I tell you, dude, this hour call has been an hour and a half. So I guess I think we've answered questions like as we went through. I feel like honestly, I feel like that student loan topic almost needs to be like another call. I think that's really a big deal right now, and I think that's a problem a lot of agents are having. Is
Yep.
they got a great buyer, great credit score, great job, great everything, except for they got this crazy student loan debt that's throwing their debt to income ratio out of line.
Absolutely. So before you kick me out of your house, Jason, I want to add that last tip. Um, So I promise you a way to generate leads without spending anything, meaning not even paying Facebook to advertise. Once you have a funnel that you believe is producing, meaning it's giving you the type of leads you want, you could always make sure you save that link to your funnel, right? And you could actually post it on your own personal profile. and therefore, have that ad, out there being publicized on your profile. Or you can maybe target groups. Like I like to target communities or buy sell trade in my neighborhood. So let's say I have a really good funnel. I would actually ask permission from the administrator, say, hey, I help challenge borrowers or whatever. Can I please advertise? Maybe I can help some of your people get into a better situation. And if they say yes, then I post the funnel into that group. And let's say you have a 30,000 member group. I mean, you have 30,000 people looking at your ad, and it costs you nothing. It costs you some time by communicating to the administrator of the group, but that's it. But I mean, that's a way to leverage your ad that I showed you how to create, and perhaps capture leads for absolutely nothing, for free, basically. And that's something that a lot of people are practicing right now. So it's kind of cheating the system, but hey, Facebook created the market the way it is, and we're able to use Facebook for free and build our business. More power to the rest of us, right?
That's right. That's right.
Now, again, before again you kick me out, I want to thank everyone for attending. I want to let you guys know that there's a lot more to building a funnel, a successful funnel, than I taught. But I just want to give you the simplest, cheapest way to create a funnel, so you can at least get started and maybe try it out and see if something you enjoy. Because if you do, then you might be interested in more information. You can always contact me. You can always contact Jason. We have groups that you can join to get more information. And a lot of my training was it's actually tried and true. It's not something I made up. Jason, if you're familiar with Ryan Stewman. He runs Break Free Academy. I'm a member of his his entourage as well as his tribe. So a lot of information that I'm showing you guys is not something I made up. It's not something that hasn't been tried and true. There's people with $1 million pipelines on a monthly basis, or $10 million pipelines on a monthly basis, using the same techniques, and is working for them. Lead capture is one of the biggest things that we talk about, and it's one of the things that we're employing to build our business. So I wanted to thank Ryan Stewman and, of course, Break Free Academy to give me permission, because if I give him credit for what I'm teaching you guys, then he won't sue me, because obviously I'm sharing something that people pay thousands of dollars to learn, and I'm giving it to you guys for free. But I got permission from him, and again, to pay him back, I'm just going to plug him a little bit. So thank you for that, Jason.
Yeah, no problem, man. No problem. Hey, well, you guys have a great day, and you can always find Larry on Facebook. He has all kind of exciting things he does all the time, and if I can help you guys with anything, just send me a message.
Yes, I really appreciate you guys. Larry and Morgan, I'm out. Thank you, Jason.
Thanks, man.